What is up, everybody? Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Didn't really know what I wanted to spectate this morning, but I found Karova on the leaderboards, and we were just going to go do a masterclass on how to do a ridiculous amount of damage on Adam Warlock. So he only plays Adam Warlock, as you can see, does almost 18,000 damage, almost the top damage on his team. Gets a good amount of final hits. Let's just see what he does. I don't know. I think this will be fun. Karova is a very good player, and a lot of people are shying away from Adam Warlock, and also a lot of people only think that he's usable in 3 healer compositions, but this will be proof that you don't need 3 healers to be successful on him necessarily. So, getting right into it, holding down his right click, trying to get a little bit of poke on the enemy team. They are running 3 healers this first round, but I believe they do end with 2 healers, so he gets a little bit more space to do a little bit more damage here, using his E to get those big heals on people as they drop low. Unfortunately, Iron Man gets a really nice 2-piece there, taking out his 2 other healers, and they're going to quickly lose this first point. He is also taken out, and this Iron Man is going absolutely bonkers here. Thanks to his res, Star-Lord is definitely not going to be able to save this point, but it is okay. You know, they've lost their first push, but they'll win the game, don't you worry. Trying to use his E on nothing so that he can stay alive, get all that healing for himself. And his team is probably not going to be able to touch here. They take out the Doctor Strange, but his spawn room just moved up quite a bit, so he should be back in the fight before long. Still just using left clicks, trying to hit the Punisher instead of going for the Hulk over there. I do see a lot of Adam Warlock players, when Adam Warlock is played, they'll go for just kind of the easy hits, but using Adam Warlock auto attacks into a Hulk is not going to do a whole lot. Healers are just going to farm ult off of you, so tries to charge up a right click around corner, almost takes out the Punisher there. His Star-Lord does a good job at taking out the Iron Man, and his ally Cloak and Dagger ult, so they can all stand in the smoke, be a little bit safer here. Invisible Woman ult from the enemy team does come out, charging up right clicks and firing into that invisible field. Again, charging up a right click. Feels like he's using more right clicks than the last time we spectated him, so I don't know if there's like a reason necessarily that you would use your right click more than left clicks, especially because right click I don't think has a headshot modifier, so feels like if you can always just tap heads or click on heads, then it's always going to be better, but unless you're bursting a squishy target or something like that. I guess it really is just like a poke or finishing off targets or making sure that you're looking for a one-shot or something close to it, as opposed to just poking and getting a little bit more pressure on the enemy team. He's also playing with Hogs and Mace, so 2 very good tank players. And there's no one that I recognize in the enemy team, so this should be a little bit of a stacked lobby, but I don't know. Just felt like watching some Adam Warlock today. Felt like playing him the other day too, but I was encouraged not to. Let's put it that way. Getting a nice bit of counter pressure on the enemy team here. Still have access to his res. Cloak and Dagger has farmed ult again, and Hulk also has ult. So they have a ton of damage in their back pocket. Soaking up a little bit of pressure, making sure to waste the enemy's time a little bit, keeping them at, you know, about 70% health or so as they're trying to push onto this point. Getting a good amount of damage on the healers, trying to hit them whenever possible. Just standing in the back line here, making sure that he keeps himself safe and his tank safe. Goes to the Iron Man as he goes up into the sky, takes him to about half. And his Cloak and Dagger wants to drop some smoke on point here. Forces the double support ult from the enemy team. That is a pretty bad overlap. So they're just going to back up. No, they're not going to kill anything. And Punisher ult does come out as well. Thinks about dropping the pre-res. Ends up doing it to res the Magneto. Dropping a heal on him so he can get right back into the fight. And most members of his team are dropping pretty low. I think this is a bit of a tough angle. Not sure I would have peeked that particular angle, but using his res, getting right back into it. Hogs does blow ult here so he can stay a little bit more safe on his own. Takes the Iron Man low with the help of his right click. Hulk unfortunately does drop into Bruce form. Quickly polished off by the Mega Hulk on the enemy team. Still not a fan of this angle because he's not doing a whole lot of healing on the Magneto, but Cloak and Dagger is able to keep him alive pretty well. Gets a nice dink right there. And they're going to be able to get the enemy off of this point. And as you saw that too, I mean, he's not using a hero res or anything like that. He's not trying to get a 5-man res, you know, 5-man mercy play of the game or something like that. He is just using it to make sure that they can get that mag up, get a little bit more counter pressure on the enemy team, and they end up holding the enemy team on this point when they probably would have just lost it if he had held that. So if you plan on playing some Adam Warlock, you don't need to be the hero. You just need to play smart, play what your team needs. His Punisher does get a 2-piece, not able to kill him through that Invisible Woman ult as well. Nice combo from the enemy team there. Mace gets a great one-shot on the Punisher. They do take out the Mantis as well. And he goes for a right-click around this corner, trying to finish off the banner. They take the Doctor Strange low. He's able to finish him off. His team is still pretty healthy, so he can just step up, do a little bit more damage here. Using his right clicks to try and get squishies. Takes the Star-Lord to about half. He does keep taking a couple people to half health, which is super nice. Drops the Spirit Bond here to try and counter the Star-Lord ult. And Psylocke is the hero of the day by taking him out in the sky there. Going to be a 5v6 as the enemy team rounds this corner. And this is where he's just popping his left click and then looking for a right click around the corner as someone jumps in. They do also switch to 2 healers here, so they just have the Cloak and Dagger and the Adam Warlock, so he's going to need to do a little bit more healing. They do see Mantis ult come out here, but his Cloak and Dagger ult, so he knows his team is going to be staying a little bit safer for a little bit longer. Invisible Woman ult comes out to keep their team alive just after that. Hogs is taken into banner form, but Mag returns a kill on the Punisher. Thinking about rezzing here, I think. And as he loses his Psylocke, I probably would have rezzed here, it seems like it, but his Star-Lord does ult, so maybe he's just holding that because they know that they'll be able to stop the cart. Star-Lord gets 2 more. Pre-rezzes here, gets the Cloak and Dagger up. I think he just missed the Psylocke, though. I think Psylocke just respawned as that was charging. Almost gets the Punisher taken out, but Star-Lord is able to finish him. Pause. And they just hold the enemy here with a score of 1-0. So pretty good first round, honestly. It's a good first round to go about, and they do still find quite a bit of success even running just a 2 healer comp. His team plays very well. Don't take any kind of damage that would be impossible to heal. Adam does have those longer cooldowns. He also I think he only Spirit Bonds like once in that entire sequence. So not anything crazy. Cloak and Dagger ult is more than enough to keep people alive during those higher damage points. And then when that Punisher ults, they all just kind of line of sight, and he's not able to get a whole lot unless someone's already out of position. Quickly taking out the Magneto here, following up with the Punisher, and they get a push that's similar to the push that they just dealt with when they were on defense. So very nice. Gets shielded by the Magneto, is able to step a little bit further up, and the enemy team is in huge disarray here, able to keep Hogs alive just long enough to take out the enemy Hulk. As his team ushers in the first point, he just steps up, trying to create space, make sure that this Hulk has a little bit of support. Magneto is also stepping up as well, holding his E for some reason. I think he's just letting Cloak and Dagger heal him. And that's ridiculous patience on his E. I mean, like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? I'm seeing this. But, like, he steps up here, right? He's at 147 health, 118. Not using his E, still has 2 charges of it. Mag is at 90% health, and he waits, I mean, a few seconds. That would just drive me crazy. That is absolute faith in your ability to not take damage, if I've ever seen it. And again, holding his E here. Using it very last second, as Hogs and the Magneto are about half HP. So lots of patience used on his end. Punisher turret comes up. They don't really have a way to get all the way over there, so they're just going to back up behind this corner, soak up the Cloak and Dagger ult pressure. pops his Spirit Bond as the Executioner comes out. Not able to get the one shot on the Punisher. Mace is quickly taken out as he doesn't have barrier for that. Doesn't have ult as well. Gets run down by the Hulk. That's okay. They get 5 for 0'd at that point. But Cloak and Dagger ult, Mag ult, and Punisher ult were all popped there, so they should have a little bit of an advantage going into this next point. Once again, using his right click, peeking corners. Letting that off, getting some Zenyatta gameplay. Does anyone know if this guy played Zenyatta in Overwatch or something like that? Like, is that why he likes Adam so much? That would be interesting. Does a ridiculous amount of damage to the Hulk there. Takes him low, puts him into banner form. And they're content to just hang out here. Spirit Bond, the Star-Lord ult here. And his Star-Lord actually counter ults, which is going to be a game-winning ult, I think. Takes out both of the DPS on the enemy team. They're able to quickly run down this Hulk. Unfortunately, he gets Mega off. Gets the Imprison on Adam. And without Res, or without Cocoon, he's not able to Res right there. But they do take him out once he goes into Bruce form. And his team just pushes up, polishes off the Magneto. There we go. There's the kill on the Magneto. And Hogs gets another 2. And then they just usher in the victory. So, pretty short game, pretty quick game. But, I don't know. I just thought it's always fun to watch Adam Warlock, I feel like. Especially when they're doing a ridiculous amount of damage like that. Hopefully, streaming will also be coming soon. Still working on that. Still working on finding a time in my schedule to get that done. So, if that's something you guys want to see, if you guys want to see me actually play, I'm not anything like crazy as far as a player. I haven't played a whole lot of rank this season. I'm sitting right around Plat 1, so should be able to get to Diamond pretty easily. But yeah, just haven't played a whole lot. So, if you want to see more spectating video, let me know. If you want to see more live content, if you want to see me play, if you just want to see me messing around with friends or anything like that, also leave a comment. Like the video if you liked it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.